Hi folks, back again. Thought we'd dive into another box here. This one is labeled from TR to Z, and you can see from my fancy boxes here that this is not an official comic book box, but despite it not being acid free, it seems to do the trick. So we'll just keep a power forward now. So first up in the box is Transformers. This is from the 80s Marvel series. That's Transformers 29. I have some earlier Transformers issues somewhere around here, but I don't know exactly where they are right now. But that's 34. And that's 38. So I don't know how many issues this went, but clearly it made it to at least 38, so we can make that assumption. Now, here's a mini-series, a 4-issue series called Transformers The Headmasters. So there's 1, 2, oop, look at that, a bonus, 2 copies of number 2. 3. Oh, no, that's Transformers the movie. That's the movie as well. So see, it's a good thing I'm paying attention here. That's Transformers the movie number 2. And then that's number 3. And Transformers Universe number 1. A guide to all the Autobots and Decepticons, powers and weaknesses. You know you want to know that. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in more than that. And here's number 3 of that. And there's number 4. And this is a series called Variants. It's a Jessica Jones mystery by Gail Simone and Phil Noto. And both of them are very good creators. And this was an interesting series. So I have the first 2 issues if you're interested. And of course, Daredevil appears because he's been frequently seen with Jessica Jones. This is Vision and Scarlet Witch, which if you've been paying attention to the MCU, you've heard of Vision and Scarlet Witch as a TV show. And these 2 characters appearing in Marvel, and there's 2 and 4 of the original miniseries. There's also a 12-issue miniseries of Vision and Scarlet Witch, but obviously this is not that. This is the one that preceded that, I believe. Now, Warlock. This is an interesting one. Warlock, I think, is the mortal enemy of Thanos, and I guess Marvel went in a different direction, obviously, when they brought Thanos into the Marvel universe, but unfortunately, this one has this big tear at the bottom, which looks like it's going through at least the first page as well, which definitely is a bummer, but still, it's pretty cool. That's number 8. But number 11 is in much better shape, and that looks like a great Jim Starlin cover. And there's Warlock number 14 and 15. I believe this is the last issue of the Warlock series from the 70s. And now we skip over to Wildcats. So these Wildcats issues, this started with Jim Lee as the creator, and then he quickly turned over to other writers. I think Chris Claremont was one of the writers of the original one, but this one is written by James Robinson, who did a great run on Starman. I think I've mentioned Starman before. So these couple of issues here are by James Robinson. That's 18, 19. Wow, looks like I have all of the issues that James Robinson did. It looks like these first 6 are complete. So if you're interested in the James Robinson run, you know where to find it. Now this is where we really get fun. This is where they switch over to Alan Moore as the writer. He's down here. So this is issue 21 where Alan Moore starts with Wildcats. And I have a couple of issues. That's 28. This is 33, 34, 34 again. And then the annual, which is by Robinson. This is Annual 1, and then this is Wildstorm Rising, which is also by Robinson, but also has Windsor Smith. Barry Windsor Smith is the artist, so excellent creators working on interesting books. And here's a DC classic, the Superman Batman Team Up World's Finest. This issue looks like it may even be from the late 60s. It's a 12-cent cover price, so we know it's old. So that looks like a really interesting issue. These are the 100 pagers. These are from the mid-70s, I believe. Mid to early 70s. And here's the Sons of Superman and Batman. And there's also some Aquaman and Metamorpho issues in here as well. Eclipso, Vigilante. So they had to fill the pages somehow. So they had a whole bunch of characters come in. And then they switched over to Dollar Comics, which I think was fewer pages. I believe these are 64 pages or maybe even 48, but they're thicker than the usual comics. But this is from March 1980, and there's more. I think these are all original stories in here. And up here it says Superman, Batman, Green Arrow, Hawkman, Black Lightning, and Shazam. So always fun when DC gives you more. This is another probably one of the later dollar issues. The last time, that's number 280, and then they're back to regular pages. This is 293, and they're getting near the end of the series. 296, 297. I believe it went to 320 something before they ended it. 297. So these are the issues that kind of usher us into the 300s. That's 299 there. And then this is 301 with a Klaus Janson cover. So, World's Finest. And now, here's X Factor, an X-Men related book, X Factor #1, Baptism of Fire. So they're definitely emphasizing the uniqueness and newness of the series. And there's number 2, 3, 4. I have a whole bunch of these, 7, 8, 11, 12. So, you know, you can see there's a whole bunch in here, 14, 16. I mean, I'll need to show you every one, but, you know, here's some issues from the Fall of the Mutant storyline. Looks like I have multiple copies of some of those. And now the creme de la creme, right? Uncanny X-Men. This is X-Men 209. And these are all in the 200s, I believe. The early 200s, 218, 223. And there's 224 with Longshot appearing. And there's some more Longshot. This is the Brood. There's Colossus on the cover. So you get your X-Men 252. And this is 264, or 65, which is around the first appearance of Gambit, but this is definitely not the issue that introduces Gambit. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in this box. But I do actually have a copy of that issue if anyone's interested. It's in a slab, and I forget what the grade was, but it's definitely a graded issue if anyone is interested in X-Men 266. So here's Astonishing X-Men. These are by Joss Whedon, you know, creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and writer, director of the first 2 Avengers movies. So sure you know his name on a creative level. So he did some work on Astonishing X-Men, and also with John Cassidy as the artist, who really did some great work as well. And yeah, there's a bunch of those. So there's John Cassidy and Whedon. That's issue 12. That's issue 15, and they're still going strong. 16. Let's see, issue 21. Still the 2 of them. Joss Whedon and Cassidy. That's issue 22. And that's issue 26, which we're on to Warren Ellis, who's another great creator who worked with Simone Bianchi, it looks like, in that one, or Bianchi, however that's pronounced. There's a variant edition, a nice John Cassidy variant.
How's it spelled? Maybe I can help pronounce it. Or at least give my best guess.
Bianchi. I think it might be Bianchi.
It might be Bianchi. It's probably Italian would be my guess.
That's what I'm thinking too. Here's X-Men versus the Avengers, which was a cool series that came out in the mid-80s. And there's issues 3 and 4. The Judgment of Magneto, or Magneto.
Do you think they're planning to do like an X-Men versus, or include in the Avengers storyline in the MCU?
I don't think so, because I think X-Men is owned, Sony has the rights, so there probably won't be a crossover.
Well, but they made an X-Men movie, or they're planning to, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're under a different creative group than the MCU. That's why it took a lot of finagling to get Spider-Man into the Avengers movies, because he's also in that same...
Right, no, I heard about that one.
Yeah, so, and X-Men was the same, classic X-Men. These are reprints of the original Uncanny X-Men's. So you can see a lot of the original Dave Cockrum and John Byrne issues in these. So these are reprints of X-Men in the early 100s, and then 120s, 130s. This is Mike Mignola, so this is a little bit later. That's issue 60. So yeah, these are early issue reprints of X-Men. I don't know the exact numbers because they gave them new covers, so it's hard to tell which is which. But anyway, that gives you an idea of what's here. This is X-Men Classic 98. So this is much later. This is probably even close to the 200s of X-Men. I don't know exactly what issue that is, but anyway, that gives you an idea of what's in the old store box here. So if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. And also, I hope you enjoyed the interaction with my fellow camera person here, who's always been a great help in making these videos. So as always, if you have any questions or any requests or any of the issues strike your fancy, by all means, please let me know in comments or send me an eBay message. in the link below, or the description below. So, and if you could also
The link's
like,
in the description
yes,
below.
Yes, and if you could like and subscribe, that would be great too. But understand if you don't feel like it, that's fine. Just keep watching the videos and let me know if you want anything. So thanks again, and I will see you next time. Ciao.